Okay, so does this create a different live then, or does this go to a same live? Let's find out. Let's find out. Okay. Should be live again, but I'm not sure if it went to a different thing or not. Okay, cool. So it did a different thing, I think. Okay, let me then. What in the hell? Why did it change it? I think it did it change? No, okay. What is going on here? Okay. So when I live stream, all I need to do is I just gotta change the thumbnail. But I can't schedule streams though. That's the problem. That's the problem. Hold on. Yeah, so we have a problem in terms of so I'm gonna go. Okay, let me check the live here. I think we're all right. I think we're okay. I don't have the lights on, so it's hard to tell if like the quality's going down because most of your webcam stuff doesn't really matter unless you have bad lighting or good lighting. Some key to if you ever want to start a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel, your webcam really doesn't matter that much if you have bad lighting. Like right now, the only lighting on me right now is literally like my light from here and my what would you call it? And my monitor. Okay. Okay. So when I go live on Monday and Wednesdays, and when it's not House of the Dragon season, I might do this. But oh my god, this is gonna take so long to get used to because I don't use OBS for chat or anything. I use this thing on the internet, the interwebs, the interwebs. Oh, okay. So okay, I get it. So bit rate needs to be lower. I don't know if I can do that midstream. Can I do that midstream? I don't know if I can do that or not. Because Twitch says it should be less than 7,000. Okay. Or less than 6,000. Okay. That make Twitch happy. Okay. That fixed it. All right. So, when I go live, I just got to remember to change all these things before I go live. And then also, right as I go live, I got to make sure I change the thumbnail. Okay. So, unfortunately, what that's going to do is you guys won't get alerts for the like 30-minute. I know most of you guys aren't even like, you don't have the little notification thing on for all notifications, so it doesn't even matter. But you probably won't get when I go live on my normal streams, not the one with Ricky, like after the episodes. Those streams or the regular streams, you guys won't get like a 30-minute alert. It'll just like, it should just pop up when you guys when I go live, if you have those enabled. Hi Jim, how are you, by the way? Hello, familiar faces that I just saw. Hi Dirty Dan, how are you? Yeah, well, Fizzle, that's the other thing, right? And this is why I don't. This is a little YouTube insight. So if you upload 2 different things or you go live 2 different times, it fucks with the algorithm. A lot of vulgar language, by the way, tonight. It messes with the algorithm in terms of like, okay, if your first live stream, which is a live stream, so it's not going to do better than a video for my type of channel, right? Where, you know, at best, I'm looking at like 40 viewers at a time, and it's going to perform like worse than a video would in terms of like views. If you do that, it hurts your YouTube video that comes out during that day or whatever because it views it as people did not like your content that day. So, for instance, that's why I changed up my YouTube like pattern. For instance, like I'm uploading like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Tuesday, and then House of the Dragon stream Sunday, and then Monday, and then whatever Wednesday. So it's an interesting little thing about it. It kind of messes with the algorithm. It feels like TV seasons are getting shorter and shorter. Last of Us season 2 is only 7 episodes. Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. It's about like, I mean, this is what you learn basically in in marketing classes. I took a like digital design marketing class more or less, and it was about kind of like how do you pitch an idea, and the whole goal of it. And again, think about it from this terms: lowest possible product while gaining you the most amount of money. So, I mean, it's not great. I think there's a lot of laziness in terms of creativity, in terms of quality, and I don't know. It's not great. Matthew, I would say nay on that, but who knows, honestly. I just feel like we haven't progressed enough in this season to be at that point yet, but I don't know. What are your hopes for the Dunk and Egg series next year? I feel like this could be the next mainline multi-year series similar to Game of Thrones. I think it could be really good. I don't think it's going to hit the peak of Game of Thrones. I just don't think Dunk and Egg has that pull. Because Dunk and Egg was always just a smaller story based in that world. It doesn't have like those, as much as I love Dunk and Egg, it doesn't have like the heights or the potential that I felt like House of the Dragon had. I felt like Dunk and Egg was a really cool, nice show for, people that like the world, but it's not going to attract new viewers. It's kind of the way I look at that. Whereas like House of the Dragon, I feel like every season could get progressively bigger and bigger. I don't really feel like that's the case for Dunk and Egg. I could be wrong on that, but that's just kind of my viewing of it. Grease in my Captain America voice, I say language, of course. By the way, Captain America is my favorite superhero. I got the Fortnite skin for him last night. I gave in. Hi, random stuff. How are you? I really hope they avoid the whole over-the-top nudity for the Dunk and Egg TV show. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it's so ingrained into A Song of Ice and Fire, even in the books, and then Game of Thrones, and then HBO just has the reputation. Like, just has some unnecessary stuff. Can we get an old man cameo in Dunk and Egg? Definitely could. Where do you think this season will end? I am of the idea that it's going to kind of end on not like a super cliffhanger high note. It's going to be kind of the preparation to the Battle of the Gullet, right? Kind of forming all of our quote-unquote Avengers or the Dragon Seeds and getting ready for the Dunk and Egg, or not Dunk and Egg, the Battle of the Gullet. You can tell it's almost midnight. I'm struggling. Could Dunk and Egg come out yearly since they don't have to worry about Dragon CGI? Possibly, but I would personally think, just making sense because it's going to be interspliced with House of the Dragon, I think it makes more sense from a marketing point of view to let it have 2 seasons so that you're having alternate seasons, right? Like, there's never going to be a year now without A Song of Ice and Fire material, right? If Dunk and Egg does well in its first season. And then you got to think about, okay, if we're having an Aegon's Conquest thing, if they are going forward with a Nymeria's thing, like, you're looking at A Song of Ice and Fire content like every year for the next like 5 years, right? I don't know. That's definitely a good prediction, Arya. It's a good prediction from Ricky. Okay. I'm going to make sure we are good on everywhere else. Also, whoever's watching me on Twitch, you're a bold man or woman or whatever you identify as. That's all I'm going to say. Bold. Watching on Twitch. Wild. I won't lie, though, right? I know people like to use Twitch, and I it's better for, like, I guess, streaming and interaction, but honestly, Twitch is such a worse platform than YouTube. You heard it here first. Oh, my. Larissa, you are, like... Larissa, are you in the prime of your day right now? Because I'm at midnight, and I'm like, oh, I'm yawning. Chances of Dalton Greyjoy showing up. I think good chance. I don't know about this season. I think next season. Ads are out. Dude, Fizzle. It's insane. Like, you get, like, I very, very rarely ever watch on Twitch. But the reason I don't watch on Twitch, it's literally because if you don't have a membership to a Twitch channel, you will get just destroyed with like 6 ads in a row that are like 30 seconds long that you can't skip. That's insane. Like, if I was ever going to like get to the point on Twitch where you could run ads, I wouldn't even run ads on Twitch. I think ads are terrible if you are not like a big creator on Twitch. If you are a small creator and you on Twitch and it's like your main thing, do not run ads. Do not run ads. It is like, that's all I can say. Almost 3 p.m. Loris. I would kill to go back to 3 p.m. Let me know for all the American folk. What'd you do on your 4th of July? Anything crazy? I didn't do much. I just went over to my friend's house. Pretty. I kind of feel old in a way because like our quote unquote party was more or less over by like 7 p.m. because 4th of July was on a Thursday. So most people got to work the next day. But yeah, I don't know. Meanwhile, it's 7 a.m. here. Random stuff. Where is it 7 a.m. where you live? You're like on, I think, no, Ricky's time's not. Oh, no, yeah, it would be, are you like in Germany? Are you in like Europe? I think that's Ricky's time right now. It's 1 a.m. here, East Coast. Yeah, it's midnight here, Matthew. I'm struggling. Prediction: Dunkin' Egg Season 1, 2025. House of the Dragon Season 3, 2026. Yeah, I like that prediction, Ari. I like that prediction. Europe? Yeah, I figured. Austria, so I'm not like terribly far off. I'm not great on geography. It's like I know the general like European geography, but like I'm not great at it. I want to look at, okay, what is Austria's location in terms of Europe? Like, I have a general idea of where it is, but I don't know exactly. Austria on world map. Like, I am not going to be one of those people that would ever do GeoGuessr. I'd be horrible at that. Yeah, it's right below Germany. I figured. You want to know the only reason I know that? It's because of World War II. The only reason I know that. Okay. I'm a night shifter, kind of normal for me. That's fair. I am definitely better at night than I am in the morning. It's just one of those things where it was just a long day. I'm just very tired. And I had a little bit of alcohol, not a lot, but like even a little bit of alcohol, like I'm talking even like 1 glass of wine makes me tired. I just get tired much easier. Like some people when they drink it makes them angry and stuff like that. It just makes me tired. Greece, do not say you feel old around me. Larissa, I feel old, okay? I have arthritis. I feel tired. I don't know. But Larissa, for your sake, we're still young and spry. That's all I gotta say. Just barbecued, really? Ate on the unworthy today? Yeah, fair. My friend's parents had like their family over and stuff, so it was one of those things where it's like you had like a friend party and a family party going on. And my friend's mom makes so good of food. I joke with him all the time because he's trying to go on like multiple diets, but I'm like, there's no way he is ever going to lose weight with his mother's cooking. Like, it's just not gonna happen. I had to tend to my pup with the fireworks, unnerve her. Yeah, I've never had dogs, but even my cats, when like we had fireworks, they used to really get like bothered by fireworks. Grilled out and enjoyed a cheat meal and watched the hot dog eating contest. Ooh, you love to see that. You love to see it. In my opinion, I think that most shows in Westeros will be around 4 seasons if they want a well-paced story, not 8 seasons of filler. Yeah. Well, the problem is you can't do 8 seasons, right? With like any real story outside of Game of Thrones, right? We just don't have enough information. Like, you just, at that point, you'd be doing 8 seasons where you made up everything. So Yeah, I agree. Again, I think everything that they go on from now is going to be, 3 to 4 seasons probably. Um, yeah, Robert's Rebellion would be a good one to end off on. The problem with Robert's Rebellion is I don't think George is ever going to green light it because there's too much stuff we don't know about it, and it spoils like stuff if he gives out too much information about it. Also, yeah, Matthew, I hope your migraines are all right. Ugh. But yeah, Larissa, how is your day going? How is your day? It's weird to be saying that. Like for you, this is something that always boggles my mind. Right? Is that like when I'm going to sleep, there are people in the middle of their day. It's just a very random thought. Like it's like wow, the world is such a big place, but when you live in like I live in a very small town. Okay, it's just weird to put that into like your own mind. Like stuff that really messes with my mind is like if I look at my YouTube analytics and I look at like time watched and I go, wow, if you add up all of this, right? There's if you add up all the time that everybody has watched my content for, it's like over the lifetime of somebody. It like that's crazy to me. Like that's crazy. Like we could do a deep dive right now. We could do a deep dive. Hold on. Let's go to the channel, okay? This has become a very weird stream. I don't know. This is not a planned stream, but like it's just we're with kind of like the cool crew, right? We're on the cool crew right now. Dakota's not here. He's not on Edge, Love you, Dakota, if you see this, by the way. But okay. So like let's think about this. So if we go to lifetime, what is okay? So how many? Okay, 100. How many hours are in a year? That's what I need to know. How many hours a year? Okay, I don't want total working hours in a year. I just want how many hours are in a year. How many hours are in a year? Okay, so let's do a calculator here. So 135,000 hours. Okay, that's not as long as I thought it is. Never mind. Okay. So, theoretically, if you added up the amount of hours that people have spent watching my content that I know of, it equivalates to 15 years. That's just a wild number for me to think about, right? Like, think about this for a second. People like my content enough to where they've spent collaboratively. We've gone through 15 years worth of time that will never come back. That's a wild thought. I understand how like this is like drunk talk. I know because I have one of my friends that like this is the kind of talk that they get when they're drunk, but it's not drunk. It's more like it's midnight and I'm tired. George is too busy with the Elden Ring adaptation to finish wins. Let's not put that into the atmosphere. We gotta have good vibes at the night. We gotta have good vibes. Okay, but think about this. All right. So, if you think about, because I added this up today, if you think about the amount of time that the reread has taken, right? So 48 hours. Okay, put that in perspective. Just the recording part of it, or I guess the actual stuff you guys see, is 48 hours worth of time. But then if you think about it, right, I also then edit those videos. So you then multiply that and you at least do it by 2. So you go to like 96. But then you got to also think, okay, it's also me stopping it, cutting it, all these things. So if let's say we're generous and let's say it's like 120 hours worth of time, okay? That's just on editing and like just recording it in general, okay? Then you think about the notes for it, which takes arguably longer than recording it. We're now, like, we're going to a weird place, right? Where it's like, we're looking at like 200 worth of time. It's just a weird time. It's a weird time. Honestly, I think Dunk and Egg can go till the tragedy of Summerhall. I agree. I do agree. I would assume George has a few manuscripts done for some Dunk and Egg stories, not full novellas, but some chunks of them done. We know he's worked on the Winterfell story at least. Yeah, that's the thing is, right? It's like all that he has to say to the whoever's running Dunk and Egg. You know, this is where we could go. This setting is where they went, and you know, you can kind of make up your own story almost, right? Because there's so much unexplored characters in this time frame. You know, Fire and Blood Part 2 is not out, all that stuff, but it is strange the time difference. I made sushi and went shopping. I assume that's what you meant by that, Larissa. Day off work, but you love to see that, Larissa. You love to see that. Also, not a sushi fan, so I can't relate there. A lifetime can be rather short. Just ask 3/5 of a certain someone's son. Oh, no. Oh, no. You can't go there, random stuff. That's right, Matthew. Well spent time. Well spent time. Here's the thing, Aria. I know it could go 8 seasons, but I don't think it should. I think that's going to fatigue it, in my opinion. I am just chilling. Larissa, I am just chilling. Just play Elden Ring already, Grease. Maybe. Damn, it's been a decade since I first read up on wait. I gotta process this. Damn, it's been a decade since I first read up to A Dance of Dragons. That's what you meant. See? I just reread it and I figured it out. Sometimes my brain just doesn't work that well. Like, this is what I've learned, okay? Is we play these like party games, or you know, I'm gonna turn some light on. Hold on. It doesn't. I'm like looking at this, and it just doesn't. It's making me not happy. So we're gonna have a little bit of light. Let there be light. Yeah. What was I gonna talk about? I don't know. Hi Dave, how are you? Nice seeing you again. Really enjoyed your Daenerys video. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. It was a video I liked. It's my favorite chapter. I've realized, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's my best rated chapter of the entire first book, and it was the last one. So you know, it is what it is. This is my favorite community on YouTube. We're all pretty chummy here. Great mods, cool chatters, gracious. I try. I get a little like Magor the Cruel sometimes, but it's gotta be done. I did have a happy 4th, Cooper, if that's how you say your name. I tried, but I hope you did as well. Let me know what you did. I'd love to hear. I love to hear what people do on their free time, I guess. But yeah, we're also live on Twitch, so kind of weird. If you do, I gotta update my socials on the YouTube. But yeah, no, it'll be there. I also made a Facebook page for the channel. That's how you know things are getting dated, you know? Also, I will say, you know, Facebook was my first social media. I think it was a lot of people's first social media. And boy, oh boy. That's all I'll say. Some pretty interesting stuff was posted on there. Are you a wind optimist like many others right now? No, Matt. Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm pretty like... There's been no real signs to me that have said, oh yeah, George's might be hinting at wins. George hasn't mentioned wins at all. He hasn't said anything about it positively. He said cryptic, like, quotes and, like, people just looking into things. I don't know. Can't wait to see the Laughing Storm. Agreed. Don't worry, Wiley. That also throws me off a lot. That really throws me off. They don't have a good track record writer. I will agree. But I will say, at least with Dunk and Egg, it's actually like you can make up stuff and just make sure it's like well executed, but you can make up almost anything. Like it just can't be really stupid. But I don't know. The best chapter is Dance of Dragons, Daenerys 10. It is. I think it's the best chapter. I swear if they change up anything with Dunk and Egg, then I'll literally be done with the TV universe. Fair enough. Rob's final chapter remains my. I think, Matthew, that's my favorite chapter of the book, but I don't think it's objectively the best chapter of the book. Right? Like, I have that chapter. I think it's top 5, if not top 3. I don't remember. My first social media was Club Penguin. That's a good one. House Dragon could go 5 seasons if they wanted again. Yeah, I agree, Arya. I've never been on Twitter or X. I hear Twitter's a terrible platform. Twitter is the land of like sex bots and like just it's basically like an ad company for OnlyFans now. I swear. There's nothing good on Twitter. Like the whole everybody on Twitter is toxic. Okay, you say one thing, like I will say, I think Ricky, like, because he has more of an established like community on Twitter. I feel like he just like people just don't like him for some reason. I just don't get it. And like people are just assholes. Like the Lord of the Rings community that I experienced is what's on Twitter, where they are just like they come at you after every little thing, and it's just like, man, what are we doing? Another thing, I watched Fellowship of the Ring Extended Edition last night. Such a good movie. I hope Wins gets announced after House of Dragon, but that's very optimistic. I agree. Oh, that's how you know you're old school. You start saying things like MySpace. I don't even know what MySpace really is. I know it was a social media platform, but I don't know, like, Battle of the Green Fork is the best chapter in a Game of Thrones, hands down. It's a good one. Oh, Jimmy, you're playing Fortnite the rest of the night? I respect it. I like the Magneto stuff. I also have the Battle Pass, so I got the Magneto skins locked down. Ooh. Good stuff going on there. John's final chapter in A Storm of Stars will ever be my favorite chapter. The King Who Cares. It definitely is a good one, though. This is how I see it. The first 5 seasons of Dunk and Egg as an adventure series with the next 2 seasons of Aegon as King, which ends with Summerhall. Well, I do like that. That's a good idea. Twitter is just a bad... Like, here's the weirdest part, right? I have, like, 60 followers on Twitter. I don't know where they come from. Because I'm pretty sure even in the description of this channel, description, my basic one. Oh, it does have Twitter in it. Okay, never mind. But I don't ever, like, say, oh, yeah, I'm posting things on Twitter. Like, I never say that. Like, I would much rather you guys follow me on Instagram than Twitter. Twitter fucking sucks. Terrible platform. Instagram, I actually like Instagram. Like, I just share stuff. Like stuff I enjoy sharing now is, like, from streams. You know, like, if you guys, like, have a rating or something, or, you know. I don't, like, post selfies on there or anything. I'm not cringe. Like, I don't post cringe, but... Fellowship and Sorcerer's Stone are my comfort movies. Those are good ones. Sorcerer's Stone, people say it's not a Christmas movie, but it is a Christmas movie. I don't know why. It's just like the movie is just like, it feels nice, you know? It just feels like a nice movie. I know, like, Voldemort's trying to, like, come back and kill Harry and stuff, but, like, it's just like a nice Christmas movie. Harry Potter are not Christmas movies, but the first 1 or 2 are Christmas movies. Like, after that, they're not Christmas movies because they start getting too dark. But I don't know. Harry Potter films are my comfort zone. To me, it's certain ones. Certain, like Goblet of Fire, not a fan of. I like the book. I just don't like the movie that much. Half-Blood Prince, it's like, you can take it or leave it, you know. But all the other ones I kind of like. I'm a big, like, I really like Chamber of Secrets, the movie, and it's just because of the basilisk, and I know that, but the basilisk is just cool. Even though I notoriously hate snakes, but I can't help it. A snake that, like, kills you by looking at it, and it's a big freaking snake. I know it's called X Ghost, but I don't really give a shit. It's still Twitter. It's the same platform. Yeah. Okay, and X is a stupid name. It's like blood and fire. Like what was George thinking? What was George thinking when he said, "Oh, let's name it Blood and Fire"? George. Even if George ever saw this, like in the way I just mocked him, I'd still say that. I'd be like, George, we got to have a sit down. Blood and Fire. That sounds ridiculous. Like, why would you? Why would you go from fire and blood? Again, the motto for the Targaryens, because it's about the Targaryens, and then switch around their motto like it's like this cool poetry, like it's the black fire sigil with the Targaryens. No, no, it's just stupid. It's just dumb. I don't know. I don't know. The Harry Potter series or Harry Potter TV series better be released around Christmas time. I agree. I actually will review that, by the way. As soon as I hear the music, the child in me comes out. That's true. That's true. That's very, very true. It is because Chris Columbus directed it. It has like a nice like kid feel to it, right? It's just got that nostalgia feeling. Half-Blood Prince rejected canon hard. Agreed. Like this is the thing, Arya, right? This is the thing. Okay. Why in the hell? Why in the hell would you take the most interesting part of Half-Blood Prince, which is the part I like about it, it's why it's one of my favorites of the books, is Voldemort's background, all the memories and all that stuff. That stuff is awesome. It's really well paced in the book. And then the show, or not the show, the movie's just kind of like, we'll give you like 1, 2. Was there 2 in the movie? I don't know. Grease, we need more of these late night hangouts, chill streams. Well, I wouldn't get too accustomed to them. It's just because I'm kind of, the only reason I even like allowed to like, even the only reason I did this is because like my parents aren't home, like they're on like an anniversary thing. So I got the house to myself right now, so I can scream if I want. You know, I could. I'm not going to, but I could. But also like my parents' room is like literally like okay, follow me guys. If I'm looking this way, it's literally the door that way. So I can't be that loud. Like I couldn't be live streaming at like midnight unless I was like being real quiet. Like when we did the House of the Dragon stream last Sunday night, I was trying to be like quieter than usual because my father was trying to sleep. I tend to be a Catelyn Sansa defender in comments, so most people like my or dislike my opinions. Not a big fan of Dany Chappers. Edmure allowing the small folk to shelter in Riverrun makes him top tier. I agree. Edmure is okay. Edmure is a underrated POV. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Wait a minute. I just saw something on. Wait a minute. So if I go to the live, okay, hold on. If I go to the live right now, okay, never mind. What about on Twitch? Is it on the Twitch one? Also, if you guys do want to, I mean, here's the thing, right? You can follow the Twitch if you want to. Like if you're actually gonna use Twitch, then go ahead and follow. But like if you're just gonna watch me on YouTube, then don't even bother going over there. I'm just saying. Also, I just saw this in my YouTube or my stream chat on Twitch. Monthly Pompock. No, I don't want none of your like. I don't want no botting. Okay, no. This is not my first rodeo, my guy. Not my first rodeo. I know what happens here, dude. I just no. Here's what's gonna happen. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. You know, you YouTube folk, you're not gonna get to see this, but and wait, hold on, wait, and blocked. That made me feel good for some reason. Tacticus Kilgore. Okay, I need to know who this is. Who is this? Who is it? Also, why didn't this pop up in my feed on this? Wait, now I gotta see if that popped up. That didn't pop up though. I don't think. It should tell me if it was Twitch or not. Yeah, that didn't pop up. What the hell? Wait. Is it not showing me Twitch? that what's happening right now? I don't know. I don't know. Violet comes in as I'm dabbing, of course. Taylor, I have read Percy Jackson. I really like him. But yeah. Not sure. All I will say though is I'm a defender of Catelyn and Sansa in terms of I think their POVs are really great. I'm just not the biggest fans of them. I really like Daenerys in the first book and Storm, and then the other two I'm like, it's take it or leave it. I love the chill stream vibe. Okay. I liked Half-Blood Prince as a kid, but as an adult, I'm more of a book purist. Fair enough. Agreed. Agreed, Arya. They're supposed to be in the town below. Okay. They cannot be apparating. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. Supposed to be in Hogsmeade, and then they get on the brooms, then they go up. That's how it works. Gosh. Dude, Goblet of Fire is a terrible adaptation. The movie is a terrible adaptation of the book. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, Matthew Stewart, you're the one over there. Okay, you're a tricksy little guy. I get you. Does John Con get the Battle of the Bells moment show Dany had? Ooh, I like that. I could see John Con going a little insane. You know, I could see that. I like that idea, Dave. By the way, Dave, I like your profile picture. I like that. It looks good. I like that. If Edmure just kind of like holds back, I think it does, Ryder. In what sense, John Marks, in terms of the Jamie and Jon similarities? In what terms? Your latest video has made me think about Daenerys and her overall story. Do you like the idea of her giving up on diplomacy and Marine and embracing fire and blood, or would that not work for you? I mean, I could definitely see Daenerys getting fed up, right? Dance Dragons is all about how she struggles. She's making all these, plays so that things will work out, right? Marrying Hizdar. And that's something she wanted, trying to do what's best for the people and trying to give in to their demands and all this. And that's all I gotta say. It's not great. It's not great. I could definitely see her going full fire and blood. Like I could see it like gradually. She becomes more and more to violence and things like that instead of like peace and actually ruling. Also, I don't know about the Harry Potter show. If that's what you're talking about, Violet. What are the 2 things you hate about the Harry Potter movies that you hope the TV series does justice to? I would say. Ooh, that's a tough one. I hope they actually do Voldemort's backstory done better in Half-Blood Prince like we were talking about. That's a big one. And then Goblet of Fire, I would say the overall pace of the book make that better and make the actual trials kind of up to par with what they were in the book. Especially like the maze. I would say that would be the 2 ones. Do you believe that in other spin-offs they'll always have the problem of fumbling the big moments? For example, if they do an Aegon's Conquest show, they fumble the burning of Harrow. No, I don't think, we can say right now that they're always going to have that issue, right? Because it's just Ryan Condal's team, right? It's a proven, like I can't say for a fact now with season 2 as well, because we're only 3 episodes in, right? I think with episode 4, we have a pretty good gauge of how they're handling big moments. And so far, through season 2, it's not been that great in terms of the big moments. So, we'll see, right? When it comes to, when we get to episode 8 and, if we're still 50-50, maybe like, let's say season 4, they come back, they do good. And it's like basically episode 2, you're 50-50. If we keep going like every other episode, there's a problem that doesn't make sense, then yeah, I'm gonna, that'll be a big talking point, right? We're now 2 seasons in and they have still not fixed the issue of ending episodes correctly. I agree with that. I think if, young Griff is not who he turns out to be in John Con's opinion, could be bad shit. Um, Oh, another good one that I would like is there's actually a lot of room to expand the fight in Order of the Phoenix at the end. It was a lot quicker in the movie than it was like in the book. That'd be cool. Maybe Cheeto, maybe. Yeah, Arya. That's my thing though. But like they're like I feel like right now it almost feels like you're 50-50 in terms of ending an episode, and that's not good, right? That's inconsistency. I don't like that, right? I don't like, preparing going into episode knowing that, oh yeah, uh one episode's going to be great ending and the other one's going to be very, divisive. Some people are going to like it, some people are not going to like it. And, that's how it is, because the thing about Game of Thrones was never divisive in terms of the quality of episodes until like season 5, right? And I don't even think season 5 people really started to see it, right? I think it was really season 7. I think season 7 is when I first like publicly, like on social media, YouTube, where I saw people start to kind of realize the quality of the show had went down. So I don't know. John's POV and Jamie's POV both show two people joining an order that they thought was something better than it is, and you're seeing how both sides deal with it. Okay, I like that idea. And if you also think about, John and Jamie when they were younger, John kind of finding his place, right? Trying to find his identity as a character, right? And that leads him to go down with, the wildlings, and that kind of taints how the Night's Watch looks at him as a character, right? They view him as being somebody that's, likes the wildlings and is allowing them through the wall, which gets him killed. If you think about Jamie, right? He's somebody trying to find his way in the Kingsguard, and he believes that killing Aerys is the right thing to do, and that now, has this Kingslayer thing labeled around him. So I think that, that's a good comparison. I like that comparison now that you kind of like got me in the right order of your thinking. I like the thought process. So I actually, Dave, I have a video going out on, I don't remember if it's tomorrow or Saturday, but I have a video ranking the POVs because I rated every single chapter of the book. I have them all ranked out from the first all the way to the last. And the thing that I really enjoyed, or the thing that surprised me the most on this reread, especially because of how in-depth, I think it's because of how in-depth I went with the characters, that I'm looking more at their actions and psychoanalyzing everything they're doing, that I really came to enjoy Daenerys in this book. Daenerys, to me, was always a POV that I kind of attributed to around like Tyrion and Jon of the first book, where, I knew that they were good, but I thought they were just kind of like a good starting spot, but they weren't anything crazy. And I think, to me, like, I guess this is a spoiler for that video, but I have Daenerys and her rating, like how I rated every one of her chapters. I then added them up and divided it. She ended up tying with Ned in terms of rating of my favorite, or the best ranking of the book. I gave it to Ned because Ned has more of a sample size. He has 15 chapters compared to Daenerys' 10, so that means he was more consistent. But Daenerys, to me, I think is the most complete character in terms of where they go from the beginning of the story of book 1 to the end of the story of book 1. They have the most compelling arc throughout that entire process, and are consistently my favorite chapter, or not favorite, but like best rated chapters of the book. Like, to me, she has a perfect start, middle, end. I don't think there is a bad Daenerys chapter in book 1. I think there's ones that are like more like okay, they're around like middle of the pack, but then she just has a lot of great chapters. And I find her very refreshing in the first book, because Ned, in the Westeros plot, just kind of is at the front and center of the story. That Daenerys is kind of a breath of fresh air, because you kind of go away from all the Westerosi politics, all the stuff going on at King's Landing, and you go to Daenerys, and she still feels connected to that plot line based upon the connections in terms of, Jorah informing on her to the council, and they're trying to figure out what they should do with Daenerys and how that impacts Daenerys' arc. I love that Daenerys in this book specifically connects to the main story while also having her own plot line that really, I think, works well in the book. Justice for Spew. Yes, agreed. I think if they fumble Rook's Rest, we'll have a lot to talk about. I trust Ricky, but he said there's more controversial moments. Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends, like, how controversial, right? I mean, because it depends, like, what stuff they mess up. If they mess up really big stuff, I don't know. Catelyn and Sansa made big mistakes for sure. I notice a lot of fans tend to make them both seem like intentional monsters. See, I don't attribute that with Sansa at all, right? I don't think Sansa's a monster. I think Sansa is a young girl that was brought up a certain way. And so you put a lot of those experiences, a lot of that privilege into this world then. And it comes off really badly when you compare her to characters like Arya, who are more adult-like, right? Sansa is a much better interpretation of what a young girl would be than Arya is, right? Arya is much more adult-like. She's much more mature. But I get your point there. Not sure. I agree. I don't think J.K. Rowling is a fantastic author either, Cheeto, right? Like, I think that she takes I don't know. It's hard to, like, exactly pinpoint what I want to say here because I don't think she's a bad author. I think she's a solid author. I think she's decent, but I don't think she's, like, a good or great author. I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to pinpoint why. I think a lot of it is, like, the way the describing of characters, the way the characters build sometimes isn't, like, great. I think, like, if you compare, for instance, George R.R. Martin's writing compared to Rowling's writing, there's obviously, like, no comparison in terms of the level of intricate writing of themes and plots. That's not to say Rowling is bad, but I think the main thing that makes her popular, especially earlier on, is the concept, right? The concept of a world where, you have these wizards and witches, and it's all congruent with humans and all that stuff. I think that's such an interesting concept. And so you have that, which is an extremely interesting concept. And then you just put some solid writing behind it. Like, not great writing by any means, but solid writing behind it. It's still good. I don't think there is one at the wall, Marks, but I'd love to hear your reasoning as to why. Do you think Maya Stone will play a significant role along with Robert's other bastards? I've thought about this for a while, and I think the most that she'll play will be a role with kind of Sansa. But I don't know. It's just, she doesn't seem to have some set plot line that seems to be, like, alluded to. Yeah, Dave, if you want to give it a good look at, I guess, I do talk about Daenerys quite a lot. I feel like there's some POVs in the video that I kind of didn't talk about enough. But I definitely talk about Daenerys a lot, into why I kind of feel like she's as high as she is. I think, like, her books are good. I don't think they're like, again, I am a Harry Potter fan, but I don't think, like, her work is up to par with, like, other great things that I like, for instance, right? Like, I think Tolkien's better. I think Martin's better. I don't have, like, this great, like, library of great authors, but of the great ones that I've read, she doesn't seem to be, like, on that pedigree. She seems like maybe I would say a tier down below them. See, Arya, like, I've I don't think it's a lot of people, right? Because if you go to my video, now this is confirmation bias, right? Because if you're somebody clicking on my video and the title is why it failed, or the thumbnail says why it failed, usually you're probably clicking on it if you agree with it. So, but still, with that being said, of my dislike to like ratio or whatever is 55 to 6 in terms of people that liked or didn't like the change. So I think people on my channel, because of the way I talk about the episodes and the way that I've kind of talked about House of the Dragon season 1, people know kind of where I stand on that. And so maybe my community is molded around that. But I have found it where it's an outspoken minority that seems to like the change, but I don't know. I'm wondering what. So okay, so for me, because I'm on a Song by Some Fire channel, I would never stop watching. But if I didn't have a channel, and this was just, you know, me watching it for my own entertainment, they would have the thing that would really destroy it for me is if they completely screwed up Rhaenyra's character. Like, and this is why I think I'm kind of on edge a little bit about Rhaenyra, because they still have yet to do anything with the character. Like, they're showing her mourning, and that's good, right? You know, because that is an essential part of the character of Rhaenyra. But I find that Rhaenyra is one of the fascinating characters that they've adapted, because for me personally, came away having a very distinct version of how Rhaenyra was as a character. Because, you know, George kind of shows us a number of events that kind of, you can look at that and go, okay, these are her actions. Why would she do these actions and all of that? And you come to a distinct character of what Rhaenyra probably is. She is someone that's very similar and can be very, she's like, in my opinion, she is like a mix of Rhaenys and Visenya in terms of like Aegon's sister wives, because she possesses parts of both of them, right? She can be extremely cruel, but she can also play the princess, the queen role, you know, having good relations with the people. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of like the Visenya part of Rhaenyra wins out kind of by the end of the dance, because there is no Rhaenys side of her that balances her out. And the show has yet to really show any part of that side of Rhaenyra so far. Rhaenyra has been very much the Daenerys of this show so far, right? Like, she's the character that has very little flaws. She's been completely validated in pretty much everything. One reason I kind of don't like that they put the Alicent and Rhaenyra scene together is that it just validates Rhaenyra. It tells Rhaenyra that, yeah, you're right, right? This whole war, that she is right. It takes away that mystery or illusion of, like, from Rhaenyra, what actually happened with this, you know, why did Alicent flip on her, right? I just think those things are harmful when you take a look at it. And so when I've looked at season 1, one of my biggest critiques of season 1 is Rhaenyra seemed underdeveloped in terms of, like, having flaws to the character. There didn't seem like they fully fledged into developing that. And so what was the thing I was looking forward to most in season 2? Rhaenyra. I wanted to see how she would react to things like, you know, Luke's death, like an assassination attempt on her life, you know, like blood and cheese. And so far, she's been just kind of just sad and cautious. We haven't seen the other side of that. We haven't really, like, we've seen in sometimes very certain moments, right? Like her talking to Mysaria for the first time. She's a little bit more fiery. We just haven't seen the fiery side of Rhaenyra, like, at all. And I don't know. I just don't like that. And so the reason I bring this up is because, you know, you're going to be halfway through the season, you know, starting in the next episode. And so if we still have the same Rhaenyra by the end of the season, I'm going to be like, well, we wasted a season of development. So I don't know. Grease, after the stream, meet me outside. Oh, God. Cheeto. Oh God, you're in a place. That's a good point, Violet. Right? Like people want to imagine themselves in Harry Potter. Now, I will say, I would not say that during when Voldemort first came to power, because people were coming home and there'd be dead people. So I'm just saying. But yes, I get what you mean. Like, especially like book one Harry. That's where you would want to be as a kid, I get that. Arya, but this is my biggest thing though, because I'm especially seeing it with there's a lot of new viewers. There's a lot of new viewers that I see comment on things that I came out of the woodwork. Like I'm just talking about season two's bad things because I don't like do episode reviews for the episodes anymore because it's pointless. Frankly, that's not to say anybody, that does do reviews of the episodes, like I'm glad you do them, but for me as a content creator that just looks back and goes, my review is going to get buried under thousands of reviews from channels that have more viewers than I do. There's no point in putting out reviews. That's why I do streams, because you guys will like them on streams. It's a good thing for us to kind of talk about. But yeah, I don't know. It's just there's a lot of new viewers that think it's like, oh yeah, I'm hating on it to hate on it. It's like, no, I'm hating on it because I want it to be better, and I know that this should be a higher quality. So, I don't know. And it's like blood and cheese, it's like this, right? If you are, a book reader and you read Game of Thrones, and then you're watching them make Game of Thrones, well, you're thinking in the back of your mind, what are the moments they can't do wrong? They can't do Ned's death wrong, they can't do the King of the North thing wrong, and they can't do Daenerys' dragons wrong. They do one of those three things wrong, it is a big disappointment, okay? And so when they did, in my opinion, one of those things wrong for House of the Dragon, which is blood and cheese, there's three big moments that they needed to do right. And arguably, I'd say two of them they've already messed up. The Green Council was one I was looking forward to see how they would do. Blood and cheese, and then a certain plot line that'll be in next season that you guys already probably know. So that's kind of why I've been frustrated, right? Because I feel like the two of the things that I was very excited for, they very much were disappointing. But I don't know, Dave, again, I see you're saying like you have to manage your expectations. I think it's fine to have high expectations, right? But just understand, take a step back and go, okay, like for instance, for me with Blood and Cheese, I think Blood and Cheese is acceptable in House of the Dragon. I think it's fine. I think it's good, right? I think it works for the casual audience. But for me, someone who has a higher expectation and knows an alternative way that these events could have been done, I'm going to be disappointed, and I'm going to say that was not done to its fullest potential. Will I be ever making videos on the second series, Heroes of Olympus? I don't think I will. When there is a Percy Jackson season 2, I will do a review of that. Yeah. I was not thrilled with the Percy Jackson series that Disney came out with. I thought it was good enough to get a second season, and I'd watch a second season, but it left a lot to be desired for me. It felt like a worse version of House of the Dragon. That's a good way of putting it. Where it's like House of the Dragon, I also think leaves some stuff to be desired, but I think House of the Dragon's quality is just better in general than Percy Jackson was. Yeah, Ari, it's one of those things where it's like I'm trying to temper my expectations, but it's like how many things can happen to Rhaenyra before something just like clicks, right? Like it's like your son dies. They then try to kill you. Your husband abandons you and is undermining you. You're sending your children away. Like it's just one of those things where it's like I want the character to actually evolve, and she's just not evolving. What are your thoughts on Jon coming back and the Night's Watch gets a letter saying Rhaegar's son took the throne after he knows he's Rhaegar's bastard? Do you think it will affect him? Ooh, it could possibly, right? That would be a very interesting conversation, right? If, Jon figures out that he is Rhaegar and Lyanna's son or something like that. That'd be cool. That's a very interesting dynamic between Jon and Aegon. It'd be interesting if we actually get to it. Yeah, I was actually I was expecting, and this is because of leaks and kind of where I thought, they were going. I thought Jace was going to be in the North for like 4 episodes. I'm glad he wasn't. I really am kind of glad we didn't get a lot of that plot line. I'm not a big person that wanted to kind of see that. I would also love to go to see Hobbiton and all that Lord of the Rings stuff. I agree though, but this is the thing, Rhaenyra, right? Or with not Rhaenyra, Arya, is that we should have already been at that point. Like, this is a big point of like conflict I've had with like people that comment, is that like Rhaenyra should already know the time of peace is over. Like, how many more signs do you need? Like, Rhaenys in the episode tells you, oh yeah, this is definitely young blood. It's different people in charge now. What does that tell you? You just got an assassination attempt on you. Like, what does that tell you? Right? I mean, it's just like we're too far away from where we were. I don't know. Yeah, Rhaenyra is certainly portrayed as a hero, but I think it will be interesting seeing her moral degradation as the series continues. Yeah, and I guess to me, Dave, is I never viewed Rhaenyra as a hero. I think that's the main difference. I always viewed Rhaenyra in a similar light to, what's the best comparison? I looked at her as kind of a mix of Catelyn and Cersei and Marjorie. I think Catelyn, Cersei, and Marjorie are like the three best examples, because she's somebody that makes bad decisions in the book based off of emotion. She's someone that can be cruel, but she can also be like Marjorie, someone that can be very cunning and be the how would I explain this? More like her younger self, right? Where she was the darling of the realm. Like, she had the way I read the character of Rhaenyra, maybe that's just the way I just read the character, is she was just a very complex character that was never like the hero. And so I think the show went a different way with him, which is fine. I just don't think it's the better route. I think House of the Dragon season 1, in a lot of ways, I think they were kind of scared to portray another, female Targaryen lead character as kind of having a fire and blood type side to them. I don't know. I think that's the way I look at it. Oh God, not Star Wars. I wonder if the whole Rhaenyra's female version of Maegor will happen. I think it will. Like, they've already hinted at it, right? With Rhaenyra the Cruel. It's already been kind of looked at already, but if these showrunners cannot make Rhaenyra's character way better than show, yeah. I mean, obviously, right? I think if they can't do that arc better, then I don't know what to tell you. I get it, Arya. They didn't put enough budget into Percy Jackson, but I just think it's the writing for the show was just so hit or miss, right? Like, it was a lot of controversial like stuff like that just wasn't very good. You say it'll be buried, but think of it this way: I had never even heard of Preston until you mentioned his name on a stream. But I agree, we love the streams here. Interesting. That's very interesting that you hadn't heard of Preston Jacobs before I mentioned it. That's crazy. During that Black Council, I felt like I was one of the people getting mad at Anger for being so hesitant, right? Like, I don't mind that, right? That's part of Rhaenyra's character in Fire and Blood, right? I like that aspect of the character. It's the Catelyn side of Rhaenyra in a lot of ways. But I also seeing the counterbalance of that, right? I like seeing Rhaenyra lash out at people, like showing that Cersei side to her as well, right? Not just taking shit. Like, I don't know. Somebody keeps pressing B in the middle of the evolution. Yes, I agree, Fizzle. I agree. See, Violet, but my thing is like, I just like, I get it. I get it. And maybe it's just I'm impatient. But think about when that's going to happen. That's not even going to happen until the next season. Like, it just, I don't know. I feel like it's just wasted potential. I feel like I feel like I say this a lot for House of the Dragon. It's just wasted potential. Yeah, I've had this conversation a lot, and one of my friends, but it's also my friend's wife. We were talking about this, and she was talking about Rhaenys, and she hasn't read the book or anything. She just felt like the moment with Rhaenys in season 1 has kind of destroyed the Rhaenys of season 2, and I kind of like I agree because almost all of Rhaenys' dialogue in terms of restraint and the way she talks is undercut because of that moment in season 1, which makes her a much less compelling character. Like, and that's the thing is like, you have repercussions because you made a really stupid mistake in season 1 with Rhaenys. It's now affected the way even a casual viewer, like my friend is a casual viewer. Let's not get that twisted. She is a casual viewer. And even she is thinking about those things. Those are little things that really hurt your show, because then a moment like we're going to see in the next episode is going to be lessened. That effect is going to be less. I don't know. I agree, Ryan. I like Young Griff in the next book. I want to see that happen. That would be really cool, Arya. Yeah, both sides are wrong. That is the truth, Arya. There's some that still believe the Maesters in Fire and Blood were green purists who hated Rhaenyra and slandered her. No, so like Arya, I am one of those people. Not like, but it's not one of those things where I'm looking at it from the Maesters' point of view. It's Rhaenyra commits an action, right? And it's an action that we know, right? You have to paint those, like put the dots together, right? Like something like, for instance, Rhaenyra captures Vaemond, right? It's not like how it happens in the show. It's much more cruel. She has Daemon go capture him and some of his relatives, and then literally like does some messed up stuff to them. It's like that stuff. It's like that's stuff that you can't misinterpret, right? That's not something where the Maesters are just slandering her. That's stuff that happened. Like, so yeah, I don't know. Part of it is yes, that, right? I think it's more the younger, like part of Rhaenyra, the build up to the dance. When you're seeing stuff like, for instance, who should Rhaenyra marry, right? And it's the Maesters saying, oh, Laenor, everybody's saying he's, gay or bisexual or whatever, but it doesn't matter. It's like, it kind of does matter. It seems like there was I just spit. That was disgusting. It seemed like there was a plot to literally have Rhaenyra get into a situation where she would want male companionship outside of her marriage, so that she would have bastards. And then what do the Greens do? They use that against her. I agree, Dave. I think, having Rhaenyra being a clear hero, I think does hurt it, in my opinion. Agreed, Violet. Like Annabeth is my favorite character in Percy Jackson, and I think the character that they went with in the show is one of my least favorite characters in the show. I would assume book version Larissa, but I don't even know. Like, I don't know how they would change it to make it more like maybe they have Rhaenyra kill her or kill him. I don't know. I don't like showing Rhaenys. Ashley, if you're watching this, don't get mad. But yeah, show Rhaenys is good if, like, for instance, you don't think about episode 9. That's how I look at it. I made my first active stream day. Well, hello, Black Panther. You picked a real weird one, given it's 1 a.m. for me, but welcome to the stream. I hope you join more in the future. I'm about to wrap this one up because I'm dead tired, but yeah. Yes, that is true, Arya. Yes, Arya. things that happened in Game of Thrones affected. I talked about this a lot in House of the Dragon season 1. I talk about this a lot. Think about it like this. The writers of House of the Dragon are having to follow up one of the most successful shows, mediums of all time. Of all time. Okay? And so, of course, they definitely did. They had to come after that. And so what do? Well, they implement showing dragons when we didn't need to see the dragons, right? For instance, right? They did things because they needed that shock value that they thought they needed because of Game of Thrones, because they weren't sure if people were going to like it, right? They did all of those things in a lot of ways because they were coming off of Game of Thrones, right? For instance, like how Laenor's death is, or not Laenor's death, Joffrey's death is in the season 1. Even I guess Laenor stuff too, I guess. Having Daenerys be a little bit more goody two shoes than she is in the book. And by goody two shoes, I don't mean like following the laws all the time. I mean like she is a person that is a good person, like just through and through. Blake, enjoy the stream, I guess. But yeah, it just seems the show is setting up Rhaenyra to finally harden by the end of this season, when it should have happened back in season 1 or something. Yeah. See, Dave, this is the part where I feel like a little like let on, is because the way they ended the season 1 is you have this close in shot of Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra doesn't look like she's sad. She looks pissed off. And so I thought we were going to see more of that. And this is why I also thought it was interesting that they started the show days after, instead of like if I was going to start the show, this is the way I would have done it. Starting season 2, I would have had we continue that scene, because that scene didn't feel resolved. We don't see what she thought or what she thinks or what she says upon hearing that news. And so I just feel like that's very detrimental to what we could have seen with Rhaenyra starting out the season, because that's the way they kind of built it up to be. And so when we come into the next season and you have Rhaenyra, she is already past that. And Aemond, right? For instance, we don't get to see Aemond's reactions or the way he's questioned about what he does either. And so I get why they changed those things, because they wanted to have Rhaenyra going to Luke's body and traveling around. And so you miss out on those things. It's their interpretation, the way they want to do it. I think it still worked, but I think it limited how good characters could have been in that open. I don't know. Yeah, it really felt like Rhaenyra was setting up to go kind of crazy. And so that's why I feel like if you are a casual viewer and you thought maybe this season's been kind of slow, that might be why you think so, because you were having this expectation that Rhaenyra was going to come in and, man, the time of talking is over. We are going to start going to war. We're not really at war yet, right? Like, we're into episode 4 is really where the war, quote unquote, begins, type thing. I agree. In the book, she wanted to show mercy to her siblings because she knew it was Otto and Alicent, and then Luke died. Agreed. That's how it was, too. Do you think they will actually show what happened with Adam on the Isle of Faces, or do you think they'll keep it mysterious or even admit it? Ooh, they might keep him. I don't know. I think they'll show it, actually. They haven't really been a lot on mysterious stuff. They've kind of just shown. Season 2 picking up 10 days later makes no sense since Rhaenyra has been gone for days. Where was she sleeping? What was she eating? Yeah, I think they really kind of missed on that. Now, like, as I process it more, I just don't think it was great. Euron, I've been saying this since I think I started saying where was Corlys in like the War of the Stepstones episode. It just like I just don't understand it. I don't understand why we don't have more of Corlys and Rhaenys. And especially this season where it's like you're building up to, something with Rhaenys that is very important to do right, and it just feels like they're not there. I don't know. It's one of those things, like, the more I talk about House of the Dragon, I just... man, I like the show. I think it's a good show. right? But it just leaves a lot there that holds it back from being great. I don't know. Do we think the book will get finished? Winds of Winter, I think we will, yes. It's not just, of course, the Valarians in general. Agreed. I mean, yeah, I agree. They did Lena very wrong. Not right, like, they did her wrong by not showing her more. You are live and in Germany. I am now on my way to work. Well, Panic, I hope you have a great day at work. It's weird seeing new faces because I don't stream at this time. So it's just weird. It's weird seeing new faces. It's great to see, though. I agree, Matthew. Like, that, there's just been unnecessary stuff, right? Corlys and Rhaenys could have gotten so much of that screen time. We could have delved into Rhaenyra more. I don't know. I definitely think, haven't finished the book. Rhaenys and Corlys are dying. Rhaenys and Corlys are dying next episode. Maybe. I won't say nothing, but you know. I want to know exactly what Larissa just said. Hold on. We're gonna put that into translator. I want to know what I want to know what's going on. I don't like secret dialogue being spoken. Have a nice day or something along those lines. Okay. I guess that's allowed, Larissa. Yes, no spoilers. You know, shit's gonna happen. All I'll say is the war will begin probably in the next episode. Unless House the Dragon throws a wrench at me, the actual quote-unquote war should start. It was a nice thing. I figured Larissa, but yeah. All right, well, I'm going to end the stream. I did not plan for this stream to be this long in general, but, you know, I hope you guys all had a good time. I don't even know how to... Do I just end this stream on OBS? I guess so. Well, good night, guys. I'll see you